1. Drivers, start your engines! And the sweet sound of 700 horsepower and change fires off. Chris Gale's back here somewhere with a microphone.
Absolutely, I've got a microphone.
We've waited all night for this, and I know we're not done after the sprint cars are over, but this is where the big boys get to play with their bad, fast toys. You ready for this, my friend?
Absolutely, I am ready to go. The must-see sprint cars coming to life at Midvale Speedway. It's been over 16 years since we've had sprint cars at Midvale Speedway, and it is a great sound and it's a great smell here at Midvale Speedway.
I love the smell of methanol in the evening.
I agree with you 100%. It's just like nitro in the morning.
If you're an NHRA drag racing fan, absolutely. And that is another style of racing I'm very fond of, but that's a conversation for another day. Right now, we're about to see 15 cars and stars get into position and get ready to go. All the McCune cars have been fast today, and Brian Gerster, who set quick time early in the heat this afternoon, going to have his work cut out for him. A 6 invert means he's going to start from the outside of row number 3. I don't know about you, but that's going to be fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. With Gerster starting on the outside of row number 3, going to be very interesting. Going to keep an eye on that 8 of Anthony McCune starting on the outside of row number 1. His best career finish is 3rd, I believe, right, Jacob?
Yes, actually in our most recent series event at Owasso 2 weeks ago, came home, was running 2nd the entire race, and the motor sputtered on fuel. Coming to the final restart with 7 to go, he gave up 1 spot to Brian Gerster, but a first ever podium finish. And Anthony starting on the front row for the 2nd consecutive race. He actually started 2nd in that race at Owasso. So I'm with you. I want to see what this young 19-year-old can do. He took a year off last year, and his granddad, Jim, Uncle Jimmy, everybody seems to think that's made him a better racer, a smarter racer. I'm really excited to see what he's capable of.
7 will split next time. Back 5 cars, single file up the middle.
We are getting ready to show you, race fans, the most awesome sight in all of short track racing. So what I want to ask you to do at this time is get up on your feet as our drivers start to form up. Get ready to wave your hands, wave your hats, wave your babies safely if you do, because this time by the thunder of 900 horsepower times 15 is here at Midvale Speedway. You wanted the best, you got them 3 abreast. Tonight, it's the Buckeye State Shootout. Race fans, make some noise for the stars and cars of the must-see racing sprint cars.
Split this out. Center cars, hold your line. Center cars, hold your line. Let's break it out, guys. First 5 rows, take off.
Next time by, it'll be 1 lap to green. Myself and Chris Cale going to be on the call for this one. It is about to be fun. These are going to be the fastest 40 laps Midvale Speedway has seen in a long, long time. I can promise you that. Flagman J.D. Wilbur displays the white flag. So we are 1 lap away from green. Chris, any final thoughts? What do you think?
I am ready to go. I'm not even sitting down. I don't need a seat. I might have paid for one, but I don't need it, Jacob.
I don't think many of these fans are going to need the seats that they're paying for either. Bronzy Lost in the 4th, and Anthony McCune on the front row. Jimmy McCune and Ryan Gillenwater in row 2. Then it's Jeff Bloom and Brian Gerster, followed by Jacques Roos and Charlie Schultz. Race fans, the Buckeye State Shootout, 40 laps. We are green. Anthony McCune from the outside of the front row gets the advantage down into turn number 1. Jimmy McCune up to 2nd on the outside as Bronzy Lawson falls to 3rd, and here comes Gillenwater up the outside. Ooh, that got tight. Bronzy Lawson back about 6th on lap number 1. Anthony McCune, then Jimmy McCune. That way they run 1, 2 coming to complete lap number 2. Chris Casson going to be at a premium, but the McCune boys out front early.
Absolutely. Jacques Rousse making some noise in the middle part of the pack. I believe he's back about 7th. And he's starting to make some noise coming up through the field as well.
Yeah, traffic is going to be key when we get into the lap cars. We work lap number 3, complete that time by Anthony McCune and Jimmy McCune within 3/100ths of a second of one another. And the question's going to be, can that outside lane work? We haven't seen a whole lot of it yet, but if Jimmy McCune is going to win this race, he's going to have to go to the outside of his nephew.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jacob. I think he's going to have to go to the outside, and obviously Anthony protecting that bottom right where he needs to be right now as they get ready to come up on lap traffic. And
that's the 8A of Adam Biltz. He's going to be the first car to fall victim to the race leaders. They're going to have to work to the outside right here as they work into the corner. Anthony McCune to the outside of Biltz. Jimmy McCune stuck on the bottom of the racetrack. Now they're clear through traffic as they work up next on the 28 as we work off the corner. Jimmy McCune rounded his nephew into turn 1.
Absolutely, Jimmy McCune all over the 8 of Anthony. Here he comes into turn number 3.
For the lead, he takes a look to the inside, but there's a lap car, a slow car, that's going to make it difficult. To the outside of the racetrack goes the 8 of Anthony McCune. He gets a little breathing room from his uncle now. The 85 of Rick Holly goes down a lap. Anthony back to the lead. It's tenuous though. 2 car lengths across the line. 9 complete.
Great racing up front. Green flag racing. Jacques Rousse in a 3-way battle for that 6th, 7th, and 8th spots.
Yeah, Rousse to the outside, working around the lap car. He's chasing, charging Charlie Schultz. Anthony McCune works up to the outside of Bonzi Lawson. Gets a tenuous 1 car length lead again. Jimmy McCune to the outside of the racetrack for the lead off turn number 4 at the line. McCune out in front on lap number 11. Jimmy McCune, new leader.
We said he was going to have to go to the outside, Jacob, and that's exactly what he did. Jimmy McCune to the race lead.
Yeah, for the moment. Anthony is not letting his uncle get too far away, though. He's still there. Jimmy work in the middle. Anthony right on the bottom of the racetrack. And I still say traffic is going to play potentially the outcome in this main event. They're coming up on the 72 of Joe Speakman in the 11th spot. He's going to be the next car to go down a lap, but it's still only 1 car length. If Anthony can figure out how Jimmy, caution. And the caution comes out as we work lap number 12. Bronzy Loss in the 4th. Your pole sitter goes around at the exit of turn number 4. Spin nephew 2nd in the 8th. Ryan Gillenwater, the 45, is 3rd. Then it's the 50 of Brian Gerster in 4th, and the 26 of Jeff Bloom in 5th. 6th is the 9S of Chargin' Charlie Schultz. Jacques Rousse, the South African, runs 7th in the Y0. Tom Jewell is 8th in the Lucky 7. Bronzy Loss in the what was Bronzy Loss in the 4th was running 9th. He'll end up being shuffled out of the running order. So 9th will be the 75 of Jerry Carrier, and 10th the 72S of Joe Speakman. He'll be the last car on the lead lap when we go back racing for lap number 13. That cone, race fans, on the bottom of the racetrack, they have to stay single file until they pass the cone at the exit of turn number 4. Once they do, it's game on. Jimmy McCune, Anthony McCune, Ryan Gillenwater, Brian Gerster, they're your front 4 as we come back into turn 3 and resume lap 13 of the Buckeye State Shootout, back underway at Midvale. McCune gets away by a car length or so. Anthony McCune in 2nd, now going to be under attack from Ryan Gillenwater and Brian Gerster. Gerster took a look for that 3rd spot, and now Gillenwater closing on the younger McCune. Back to turn 1 they go. Jeff Bloom has made quick work of the lap traffic, as has Charlie Schultz and Jacques Rousse. So it's now 7 cars out in front of this field, all in a line. Jimmy McCune leads it. We come to complete lap number 14. 7 car lengths lead.
Jimmy McCune starting to draw away a little bit as Brian Gerster to the inside of Ryan Gillenwater off of turn number 4.
He's trying to make that pass stick for the 3rd spot. Gillenwater does not give it to him, though. Gerster again hounding him in 1 and 2. They make contact, just briefly bang wheels.
Great racing for that 3rd spot. Gillenwater and Gerster as Anthony McCune starts to reel in Jimmy maybe just a little bit.
A little bit that last time by, but this past time by, Jimmy stretched it out on him by another car length or so. I'm telling you, though, traffic is going to get really ugly in a minute. That's where Jimmy was able to pounce. We'll see what Anthony learned. 2 laps away from halfway right here as Jimmy McHugh crosses the stripe. They're running side by side up ahead of him. That's going to allow Anthony McHugh to really, I think, make up a little bit of ground right here. Jimmy McHugh, they're side by side ahead of the leader. That's going to be ugly. McHugh tries to get around quickly. He will, but here comes Anthony McHugh closing down. It's a couple of car lengths as we come to halfway.
Absolutely crazy lap traffic right now as Charlie Schultz starting to run down the 26 and Jeff Bloom for 5th. Great racing and lap traffic, Jacob.
Oh, man, and Anthony McHugh, what was a 1-second gap, he's now within 2 car lengths of his uncle in the battle for the lead. Still, 19 laps to go, a lot of time left, and Jimmy cannot let up at all.
Absolutely not. The youngster Anthony McHugh wants to pick up that first career feature win, and he wants it to be right here tonight in Midvale Speedway.
Yeah, I think his car, the longer the run goes, I think his car is actually a little bit better than Jimmy's. He's just got to try and find a way by. They're deadlocked side by side in front of your leaders. Oh, man, I'm telling you, this is getting good now. Coming to complete lap number 24 as they work around Jerry Carrier in the 9th position. That leaves 8 cars on the lead lap. Tom Jewell, the next car, but clear track for the most part right now. And look at Ryan Gillenwater working the high lane. Brian Gerster side by side, but can't make it stick.
Great racing for that 3rd spot as here comes Gerster around the outside of the lap machine, trying to run down the 45 of Gillenwater.
And now you see what Jimmy McHugh can do in clear track. 1270 last time by, stretched it out a couple of car lengths, but we are going to get back into lap traffic before this race is over. It may give Anthony McHugh one last chance to strike. It's 1 second the margin with 13 laps to go. And you just wonder, how long can it go? They're side by side again up in front of the leaders. That's going to make it dicey. Jimmy has to check up for a moment. That allows Anthony McHugh to work to the inside lane. Here we go. Traffic with 11 laps to go and the gap down under 5 car lengths.
Incredible racing and traffic. These sprint cars just flying around this racetrack. Sub 13-second laps. Anthony McHugh trying to run down Uncle Jimmy for the race lead at Midvale.
Yeah, 10 laps to go. That time by, it's less than 3 car lengths between your top 2. And I'm telling you, Anthony McHugh is driving it for all it's worth right now. Jimmy had to check up there, and McHugh's all over him. Oh, boy. 8 laps to go this time by. Uncle Jimmy versus his young nephew. Can Anthony get there? It's 0.3 of a second back off turn 2.
Don't forget about Gillenwater and Gerster. They're right there as well. Just a few car lengths back of those 2 leaders.
7 laps to go. It is a 4-way fight for the win. And here comes Anthony McHugh. Jimmy's car starting to walk sideways in the corner. If Anthony can stick his nose up under there, he might have a shot at this for the win.
Lap traffic in turn number 1. They get around the number 4 machine. Anthony McHugh right on the back bumper of the 88 of Jimmy McHugh. Here comes Gillenwater now to the back bumper of Anthony.
Oh my! All of a sudden this has gotten electric out in front, hasn't it? Jimmy McHugh, 4 laps to go, and where did Gillenwater come from to have a shot at this?
He's bringing Gerster with him, front 4, all together down the back straightaway. Jimmy McHugh trying to hang on.
Jimmy's car is fading bad now. It's driving awful, but he's only got to hang on for 3 more laps. The problem is his nephew wants his first career win. Coming back, double popsicle sticks, 2 to go. It does not get any better than this. Jimmy McHugh, Anthony McHugh, Ryan Gillenwater, Brian Gerster, they're coming to the white flag this time by. Will it be Jimmy or will it be Anthony? 1 lap to go. In search of career win number 20, he's had to outdrive his nephew the entire way. Jimmy McHugh Midvale. Anthony McCune second to give the team a 1-2 finish that they just missed out on at Owasso. Ryan Gillenwater third, Brian Gerster fourth, Jeff Blue completes the top five, and Jacques Roos finishes sixth.
45 to the front stretch, 88.
Wow, what an exciting feature for the must-see sprint cars at Midvale Speedway. What an outstanding sprint car feature. If you guys didn't like that, one caution. Are you kidding me? Did you guys enjoy that or what? How about we get the must-see sprint cars back here 2 times next year? Wow. It is great to have the sprint cars back at Midvale Speedway. I'm going to hand it over. There's Jimmy McCune.
Up out of the car, how about it for your race winner, Jimmy McCune? There he is. There it is. And I think before we go anywhere,
The right front looks like it's going down.
Jimmy may have said it. The car was fading. We could see that you were having to slow up some, and you just got out of the car. First thing you said is that right front looks like it's going down. What were you feeling in the car the last few laps? Because all of a sudden, Anthony was on you like a pack of hounds.
This is for my buddy Jacques. All right! We got her done! No, yeah, the car started to fade. It was really, really good there early. And when I went around him on the outside, I found something that was really starting to work. And then started getting tight, picking up a bush, so I had to move back down to the bottom to help free the car up, and I couldn't get it rode down enough, and I kept seeing it, and I kept blowing the corner down here in two, and it was just rough. It was rough. It was a good race, though.
It was a great race.
Yeah, man, he drove a hell of a race, so.
I'll tell you what, this is the 1-2 finish for the family that you guys just missed out on 2 weeks ago at Owasso, but you've watched him and said, this kid's been coming, and he's starting to nip at your heels a little bit. How cool is it for you to finally have these cars finish 1-2 at one of these deals?
Oh, it's awesome, man. To see him wheeling the car that hard, I seen him early in the race, and he was kind of getting me off the corners a little bit, and I changed the line a little bit, and tracked him down after that caution, and found something there on the outside and went around him. So it was just hats off to the guys, man. We worked our tails off all day long on this thing. Chased the racetrack. I don't know how to explain it. Thanks, RevX, RevXoil.com. If you don't know about these guys, look them up. You got diesel products, you got gasoline products, you got anything you want to put this oil additive or fuel additive in, look them up. The crap's amazing, man, I'm telling you.
Is John Eckstein here somewhere too, by the way?
Yeah, John, I don't know where. Here he comes, John Eckstein! That guy right there. B&B Machinery Movers in Toledo. Been behind me since my career started back in the mid-90s, early 90s actually.
Don't date me.
Yeah, I know, I'm getting old now. I can't thank him enough. He's been by my side the whole time. Hats off to him.
What a night. Jimmy McCune, 20th career win. Oh, by the way, I know you hate counting, but that's a big one.
I never count.
Hey, race fans, give it up. Tell these guys you're glad they're here. Jimmy McCune, your feature winner here at Midvale.
Come here and get a van.
I'm going to walk over here. Jimmy's in the way, kind of, sort of. But Anthony, man, oh man, your car, we could tell it was better. You were better than Jimmy those last few laps, just couldn't find a lane. Walk me through the end and catching him and then trying to find a way by.
I was just trying to reel him in for most of the race, got to him, and by the time I got to him, we didn't have that many laps left, and there's a bunch of lap cars, and we were both running different pickup points, so it's hard to get around him.
How tough was traffic tonight? I mean, you actually probably navigated it a little bit better than Jimmy did at points tonight, but it looked like it was so dicey out there.
It was pretty dicey. There was a lot of lap cars.
Now, second, it's not a win yet, but you finished third a couple weeks ago, second now. How sweet is it to finish 1-2 with your uncle tonight?
It's awesome. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Who do you need to thank, Anthony? I know so many people go into making this possible for you and this crew.
Kircher Engines, B&B Machineries, John Eckstein, the whole entire crew, they do a lot. Pretty much everyone that helps out.
Your grandpa was over here a minute ago. I don't know where he wandered off to, but Anthony McCune, career best second here tonight. Yes, Chris Kale?
I'm going to ask you to let me go over and interview the local boy.
The local boy? I guess I get Ryan Gillenwater here. Go ahead, Chris. Why?
All right. Thank you, sir. Ryan Gillenwater, a great third-place run. Welcome home.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's great to be back in the Buckeye State and be able to race here and in front of all these, Northeast Ohio fans, and it's just great to be here. And this is a fun racetrack, great facility, racy place in traffic. I think if we had about 10 more laps, we were knocking on the door there, just couldn't find an opening. Both the McCune guys were driving one heck of a race and getting through traffic pretty smooth, and it made it difficult for me. But a lot of fun, and hopefully we can come back here again. This is great.
Absolutely. We talked about it before. Just up the road in Barberton, Ohio is where you grew up, went to school up there, and you come down here and pick up a third-place run, and we were talking about, Jacob and myself were talking about it during the run. Man, where did Gillenwater come from? Because you and Gerster were coming, and obviously the right front of Jimmy's 88 here is now flat, I believe. So you're right, maybe a 50-lap race, this might have been yours.
Yeah, for sure. I knew Gerster was behind me. He showed his nose a couple times, and Brian's such a good driver, and I knew that I had to try to hit my marks in traffic. If not, he would sneak right in and take that spot away. And at the same time, trying to eye both the McCunes in front of me, and I could see they were coming to me. It was going to be difficult to pass because this is, especially when you get into traffic, there's not a lot of lanes to go in. You just kind of have to find hopefully the perfect lap where somebody slips up and you can slide underneath of them. But heck of a place, a great first race here in front of all these great fans. We had a lot of family come out here tonight, family and friends, and so that's awesome.
You guys put on a hell of a show. That's all I can say.
Thank you. I have to thank our crew. I mean, my dad works really hard on the race car, and all of our family, my cousin Mark, and pretty much this family team here. And we just we love to compete with these guys and try to give them our all.
Congratulations, man. Great podium finish.
Thank you very much.
Ryan Gillenwater with a third-place finish here at Midvale Speedway in the must-see sprint cars. Jacob, man, that was fun to watch, brother.
Yes, it was, and I'm going to wander over here for a second. He's walking away from me. He's really walking away from me. Jacques, I want to give the fans one more time to be able to salute you. I know it wasn't quite a top 5. You said to me a week ago, though, your goal was just to make it to the checkered flag tonight. You did that. Man, it looked wild out there. Walk me through the race from your point of view.
Yeah, I made it. I finished it. It's a tough race. 40 lappers is not easy, not for me. I'm not used to stuff like this. But yeah, we finished, and whole race car is a good race car. Race car you can take home in the trailer. That's what counts. And I had fun. I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
It looked fun, and I know your friends over there, the whole family celebrating. How cool is it in a race that you were in tonight to be able to see your friend Jimmy get another big victory?
Yeah, I'm very glad for him. It's nothing new to me. I know he wins a lot of races. So yeah, but I'm proud of him. Congratulations, Jim.
Hey, race fans, I want you to give this guy one more big Midvale round of applause. Jacques Roos from South Africa, competing here tonight with the must-see sprint cars.
Brent Schreffler. The number 22, your fastest qualifier, Kyle Rector. On the outside of him, the 17 of Jeremy Ross. The 69 of Bart Busby. The 86 of Josh Beal. Get ready to go green. Next time around, no, this time around, green flag in the air for the South Philly Compact Feature. 15-lap fast feature, Blaine Salisbury, your race leader. Brent Van Meter in second, Zach Koger getting around the number 20 of Larry Ennis Jr. for the third spot. Blaine Salisbury, now a little contact between Ennis and Koger allows the 36 of Jeffrey Orr to get around. Salisbury, your leader. Van Meter all over the back of the number 4, Blaine Salisbury. But here comes Jeffrey Orr in the 36. Tough break for Larry Ennis Jr. in the 20 as he pulls to the infield. The 4, Blaine Salisbury, your race leader. Britt Van Meter in second. Here comes Brent Schreffler to the inside of Jeffrey Orr. Schreffler and Orr side by side for third. Contact between Schreffler and Van Meter. Van Meter drove that 24 down to the infield. Everybody keeps going. Van Meter in second, Schreffler third. The big loser of that was the 36 of Orr, who now has his hands full with the 38 of Brandon France. Jeffrey Orr once again to the outside of Brent Schreffler. Problems for the 15 of Finlayson. Kyle Finlayson pulls off. Finlayson was running in the 6th spot, and he pulls off. Jeffrey Orr, here he comes. Jeffrey Orr on the march. The 36 to the outside of Blaine Salisbury, the 36 to the lead. Three cars in one lap, Jeffrey Orr to the lead. Jeffrey Orr starting to pull away. Here comes Brent Schreffler to the outside of Blaine Salisbury for second. Jeffrey Orr looking for that first feature win in quite some time here at Midvale Speedway. Picked up a number of fast qualifier awards this year, but never a feature victory. Schreffler trying to get around Salisbury for that second spot. France trying to get around Van Meter for fourth. White flag for Jeffrey Orr. Problems for Blaine Salisbury in the 4, way up the racetrack. Off turn number 4, finally a feature winner, Jeffrey Orr. Brent Schreffler finishes second, Britt Van Meter third, Kyle Recker fourth, Brandon France in fifth. To pick up his first feature win in a number of years in a compact at Midvale Speedway. In the Mid-Vid racing videos, Damsel in Defense by Alicia Allison. Keys Cars, sponsored number 36. Finally, back in victory lane, here's your winner, Jeffrey Orr.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right, victory lane celebration going on. Wife just pulled into victory lane. You better go over. You told me when we did the Road to Victory Lane presented by Racer 8 Performance, you came on and joined me at the studio a couple weeks ago, And we sat down and talked and said, look, I got to get a feature win because I'm going to have the baby in August, and I got to get this feature win. Finally, you got it, brother.
Yep, yeah, it's an exciting one. I can tell you that. It's nice to have her here. She works every other weekend, so it's good to have her here for it. It really is. Without her support, my brother-in-law's, Dan's, my dad's, everybody else that helps me on this car, Alicia, you know, I wouldn't be here.
Well, absolutely. And let's talk about the pass, okay? It looked like Schreffler and Van Meter got together in front of you, and, well, you were kind of beside them. And when they got upset down here in 3 and 4, you lost a little bit of momentum. And I thought, oh, man, Jeffrey's probably going to be dead in the water now.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you pass 3 cars in 1 lap to take the lead. And, oh, by the way, that was the top 3 cars.
Yep, never count me out, man. Never count me out. It's a good one. Like I said, I want to thank all the sponsors. I want to thank Dan. I want to thank Casey for always helping me. My family, Kristen, my wife, Alicia, Brandon, just everybody here at the track. You know, you have your ups, you have your downs, but guess what? You have family here. This is family, and that's why we got to keep this place going and keep this passion going. Because I'm telling you what, I'm livid right now.
Amen. I couldn't have said it any better myself. If that's not a speech to keep Midvale Speedway alive, I don't know what is.
Yep, that's all I got, man.
Congratulations, buddy. Welcome back to Victory Lane.
Thank you. Enjoy, everyone.
Your winner, Jeffrey Orr. The number 95 of Michael Varnes, the 2T of Barney Gerber, the 4 of Tim Scott, the 36 of Tim Frederick, and we're green. Oh boy, Derek Cordia all into the side of Varnes and now spins the 118 of Locker. Green flag is in the air. Schweitzer and Gerber. Gerber gets a good restart. And he'll close the door on Schweitzer in turn number 1. Barney Gerber, your race leader. Schweitzer sideways off in turn number 2. Schweitzer all over the place on the back straightaway. Looks like he's got it together now. Barney Gerber, your race leader. Here comes Rich Schweitzer. Gathers it back in now all over the back tailgate of that number 2T machine. Gerber up the racetrack, tries to close the door on Schweitzer. Barney Gerber continues to close the door on Rich Schweitzer. Schweitzer going to go to the outside. Here's the crossover move. He's there. Great move by Rich Schweitzer on lap number 4. Going to take the race lead. Great move from the veteran, Rich Schweitzer, to the front. Schweitzer driving away. Barney Gerber in second. Tim Scott third. Tim Frederick fourth. Schweitzer puts a lap on Frederick. Off turn number 4, white flag for Rich Schweitzer. Off turn number 4, your winner, Rich Schweitzer. Barney Gerber will finish second, Tim Scott third, Tim Frederick fourth, and Colt Locker fifth. Smooth Rich Schweitzer. Got to get a cold drink first. Nothing wrong with that. Out of his pink cup yet to boot. It does take a man to drink out of a pink cup. Okay, so first I'm going to ask you, on the initial start, you didn't see what happened behind you, but goodness gracious.
I had no idea what went on there.
Well, be glad you don't know.
If we was allowed mirrors, I'd know what was going on there.
Well, yeah, you would have. And then on the restart, you get all kinds of squirrely off turn 2, and we thought, uh-oh.
Yeah, about got away from me there, didn't it? But we made it exciting then, didn't we?
You did, and then Barney closed the door a couple times on you, and we called it. Going down into turn 1, Rich is going to go high, Barney's going to slide up, crossover was coming, great move.
Do this thing for 40 years, you learned something out here.
Absolutely. Who do you want to thank on this 84 tonight?
Van Meters, Allens, Kevin, Alicia, the wife, everybody. All fun and games in the family.
Absolutely. Congratulations on another big win, and go take some more sips out of that pink cup.
Sure will.
Congratulations, your winner in the mini truck feature, Rich Schweitzer. Of Mike McDonald. The 55 is Tyler 9, the 18 is Tim Frederick, the 88 is Jesse James, the 21A is Alex Stresky, the 57 is Wes Ennis, and the 4E of Little Animal, Tyler Eichel. Lap number 1 to Kyle Lawson. Three wide for fifth. Wes Ennis trying to get around Tyler 9 and Corey Heron. Still 3 wide. Chad Smith way up the racetrack trying to hold back the 18. Now 4 wide on the back straightaway. Jesse James with a good move. Here comes Mike McDonald to the outside of Kyle Lawson for the race lead. McDonald. McDonald will lead at the line. Kyle Lawson trying to hang on to Mike McDonald. McDonald's got the lead. Tim Frederick runs third. Chad Smith fourth. Wes Ennis in fifth. Chad Smith way up the racetrack. Jesse James hits the wall, gets into Tyler 9. Hard contact between Jesse James and Tyler 9 on the front straightaway. Tough break for Tyler 9. Had an accident like this, very similar to this, a week ago. Got that machine fixed, and at the wrong place at the wrong time, Jesse James got into the wall off of turn number 4 and made contact with the 55 as she came off the wall down the racetrack, got into Tyler 9. Coming to green off of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Lawson with a good restart on the outside. McDonald battles back on the bottom. Chad Smith way up the racetrack. Here comes Wes Ennis in the 57 up to the 4th spot. McDonald still there. Lawson and McDonald side by side. Lawson's going to lead at the line by a nose. Mike McDonald to the race lead. Lawson comes down to the bottom. Frederick runs third, Ennis in fourth, Smith in fifth. Caution on the speedway. Good news for Mike McDonald is he ran faster than his qualifying time. The bad news is he ran 2 laps under his qualifying time. Mike McDonald will go to the back of the field. To get from the back to the front, coming to green, Lawson and Frederick, green flag in the air. Wes Ennis immediately jumps to the outside lane. Trying to give Frederick a push now, little animal. Tyler Eichel and the 21 Ostreski get together in turn number 1. Frederick, green flag in turn number 4. Lawson trying to hold Frederick up the racetrack side by side into turn number 3. Here comes Ennis. Wes Ennis in the 57, looking to the inside. Ennis backs out of it. Gonna try it again off of turn number 2. Got into the 54 just a little bit. Tim Frederick, your race leader. Into turn number 3. Ennis now looks to the outside of Lawson. Frederick leads. Lawson still there. Wes Ennis in the 57 and McDonald in the 16. Right there, front 4 together. Frederick way up the racetrack, still continuing to lead. Lap and a half to go for Tim Frederick, looking for 2 in a row. Lawson battles back on the bottom. White flag for Frederick and Lawson. McDonald gets into Lawson. Lawson sideways in turns 3 and 4, spins. Caution on the speedway. Ennis, Little Animal, and Streski. Coming to green, the green and white together. Frederick and Lawson. Down the back straightaway, here comes Wes Ennis. Final time. Turn number 4. Your winner. Gonna be Tim Frederick for 2 in a row. Wes Ennis picks up 2nd. Kyle Lawson 3rd. Little Animal 4th. Alex Streski in 5th. Pulling into victory lane, Bucky Mowing, also Route 39 Auto Salvage, Sensel Finnegan Insurance, sponsor number 18, Tim Frederick. Here's your winner, Tim Frederick, 2 weeks in a row. What are you doing? Okay, Kyle Busch style. Okay, I got you.
I'm already getting booed anyways.
Well, that's Carl Edwards, but that's all right. So, 2 weeks in a row, you win.
Yes. and this motor has no oil pressure. It's not the other motor.
Oh my. So can you go for 3 in a row?
I don't know. I'll blow this thing up. I don't care.
Who you want to thank on this 18 tonight, man?
Shit, I'm losing my mind. I want Eric, Bobby Joe. They were helping me because this switch was too hard. Sensible Fin Commander Insurance, your piece of shop. Legus Tire, Bucky Mowing, Route 39 Auto Salvage. I'm probably forgetting a couple sponsors. I don't know. 3 Leaf Solutions, Sports for Sound. I think I sold them.
All right, congratulations, man. 2 weeks in a row in Victory Lane.
Yeah, that was a rough feature.
Yes, it was. Your winner, Tim Frederick. Tim Frederick picks up the win. Again, please be safe, be careful going home. 25 miles an hour in Mid-Vid. So Bill Cummings and Greenleaf and Curry not going to make the call, said he was not going to run in the heat race. In the 99 and the 65 of Harding, the 60 of Allensworth, the 38 of McClintock, and the 55 of the Rooster, Brandon Bailey. Again, spectator drag sign-ups. Brian Smith is down on the main story tower, bottom of the main story tower on the deck. If you want to sign up for spectator drag, quickly over with the problem for Jeremiah Hartline. The number 7, your fastest qualifier, Kate Pringle. The number 3 is Kyle Grove. And the number 31 is Tom Early. So Mark Grisby taking the tail at the number 3. Covering for Larry Grisby. That's by race coach Tommy Collins. So getting ready to come back to race the 11 of White Park, the 7 of Kate Pringle, the 1 of Gary Cooper, and the 7 of Martin travels back on the bottom. Martin flying up on the bottom. Philadelphia, Ohio, 118 is Colt Walker. The 95 is Michael actually just a few minutes ago. Moving into the South Philly Pizza Compact Division Fast Food Race. Starting on the pole, the 27 is Britt Van Meter. The number 20 is Larry Ennis Jr. Row number 2, the 58 is Zach Hoger. The 38, last week's feature winner, Brandon Brand. Of T.R. Holder, also known as Kyle Rector. Again, last call for spectator drag. The bottom of the main scoring tower. Come out of it, great Race number 3, South Philly Compact. Getting ready to go green 8 laps. Stresky and Harris.
times the distance for Mid-Vid machinery movers racing number 2.
Number 11 is Trey Williams. 19 is Mark Willison Jr. And the 23 by a half a car length, puts it up off the bottom. laps. The Rooster, Brandon Bailey, with 3 feature wins on the outside. The O2 Mike Bowers runs third. Number 3 machine is Tom Early. And the 31 is Kyle Grove. So Grove and Early have swapped vehicles. Early in the 3 and Grove in the 31. Should be a good one. Martin Duffy standing on the bottom. once we got to 77. Hard line back up where it needs to be. Actually, the 3 of Tom Early, the 31 of Kyle Grove. Those guys got feature wins. Coming on turn 4. Green 1. Man, I wish that accident wouldn't have happened.
I'm not even sitting down. I don't need a seat. I might have paid for one, but I don't need it, Jacob.
I don't think many of these fans are going to need the seats that they're paying for either. Ronzie Watts in the fourth, and Anthony McCune on the front row. Jimmy McCune and Ryan Gilliwater in row 2, then it's Jeff Cruz and Brian Kirkster followed by John Cruz and Charlie Hill right there. The Buckeye team shootout 40.
36 of Jeffrey Orr. The number 15 is Kyle Finlayson in row number 4. And on the outside of row number 4, the 24 is Brent Schreffler. The number 22, your fastest qualifier, Kyle Rector. On the outside of him, 17 is Jeremy Love. 69 of Mark Bucky. 86 of John Field. Get ready to on 18, a Colt Walker. And number 95, Michael Barr. Getting ready to go green, 10 left. Mini truck feature. Feature, the 41 is Corey Herrick. The 54 machine is Kyle Lawson. Number 1 of Chad Smith. Jesse James, the 21A. 57 of Wes Ennis, the 21A of Alex Tresky, and the 4E of Little Animal Tyler Eichel. Still there. Down to the bottom. Has 6 laps to get from the back to the front. Jump to the outside lane. Try to get coming back to green, Lawson and Frederick. And a back shot on it. Gonna try Frederick, Lawson, Ennis, Little Animal, and Stresky. Frederick, down the right straightaway, here comes Wes Ennis. Final time. Kyle Lawson, third. Little Animal, fourth. Alex Tresky, fifth. Is Bill Wesley. 25 lap modified feature we're green. Caution on the top, Bailey on the bottom. Lap number 1. Jason Moore. back in the air. Collison gets a good restart. Outside. Here comes the Rooster. Take over the race lead. On the move from the back of the pack. White flag for the Rooster. Five, the Rooster. Brandon Bailey will pick up another second run. White Towers, third.
The fans worldwide see us. All right. Man, what a dream season you're having, brother.
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I can't thank the crew enough for all the help we go through all week get here every night. Yeah, it's been a fun year, that's for sure.
So talk to me first. Whenever you've seen what happened in front of you, you finally got around the O2 of Bowers. You see McClintock get a good run off of turn 4, get to the inside of Kaufman going into 1, and he just did not get there. Was you thinking, uh-oh?
I knew I wasn't catching him. I needed caution, that's for sure. Kevin was a lot faster than what I was coming off the corners, but I don't know. Caution helped, and that's all I needed, I guess.
And this car was good on the restart. You jumped out, got the lead, and we figured you would kind of set sail, and the 10 didn't let you go. And then coming to get the 2 to go, he dive bombed you into 3. You got to give the guy credit for trying it, but you guys held it together, still finished first and second.
Yeah, he's had a good year so far, and he's come a long ways, and he's real quick. But it's a guessing game all night. All night with this thing during the day and stuff, because you're just throwing it out there, see what you can get. But car's in one piece, and it's good to be back here.
Who you want to thank on this 55 tonight, besides Grandpa over there, who still won't come over to Victory Lane?
You ain't get him over here, that's for sure. The crew, like always, like I said, Vaughn's Pub, Dover Hydraulics, and Sour Car Wash, and the whole family for being here. So
we got to tell Grandpa the same thing that Larry McMillan told Dougie a couple weeks ago. You never know when it might be the last, so he needs to get his butt over here and get Victory Lane at least once this year.
Yeah, I'd like to give him the car, but that ain't going to happen.
Well, congratulations, man. Great run.
Thanks, Chris.
Your winner, the Rooster, Brandon Bailey.
Should be a good one. A little bit smaller of a car count. 3 stops before 3. 3 stock feature. Mark the outside lane. Mark, your race leader, Ruben Gardner, trying to hang on the outside. in. Green flag back in the air. Rolling over. Shot out of a cannon on the front straightaway. And Mark side by side through 3 and 4. A little bit of contact. Pringle nowhere to go in the 7. Gary, Oopling Runner has the 1. The 3 of Tom early right there. Close the door and turn number 3. Still there. Sprinkle on the outside. Tom early, all over the back. 5. Fire Sprinkle. Sprinkle on the 7. Didn't have enough off the corner to get the early squeeze without the coming off turn 4. Green, white checker. Kabuki, hold on. Green flag in the air. Gary, Beauregard, off turn number 4. White flag. For the first time in decades, it seems like Gary Beauregard wins the midvale.
Come here, buddy boy. I got to give you a hug first and foremost. Good job, buddy. You always complain to me that I've never gotten to interview you in Victory Lane. Now I got 2 microphones to interview you with.
You want me to take one like Doug Meyer does? Or
You can if you want. It's your show, buddy.
No, that's all right. We had the clamps that hold the sway bar. That's why that car's been crazy for the last 2 weeks, and Ron Courtney figured it out. And Kenny Feaster broke, so he took it off his car and gave it to us, and it stuck. You know, we were due.
Well, you've been due, buddy, and I'll tell you, we were talking, Terry was talking on the radio, and we said, man, Hoopy's bolted tonight. You know, and I would have loved to have seen if Gabe didn't blow that right front, if he could have got around you, because you guys would have had a heck of a battle those last couple laps.
Yeah, he's like a gnat, man. He's there. He's everywhere. I love Gabe, though. But he's having a good year, and I'm proud of him.
Well, we're proud of you, man. it takes, I know you've been waiting on this day for a while, and now I don't have to see you complain on Facebook anymore. You'll be happy this week.
Yeah. Well, the guy that owns this thing, he owns Jesse Weiscarver's Dirt Mod, and they've got like 13 features, so I'm a little behind.
Who you want to thank on this one tonight, bud?
Ed Watson, he owns the car, owns Express Service. Scott Archer, Archimotive, he helps. Melissa Bear, Scott Baker. I've had bunches of help over there. Teddy Oliver's helped me. Tonight I got a guy from Florida I used to work with, Jimmy Wilson. He's over there. My dad's over there. I wanted him to come over, but can't find him.
Well, but that's always good. He's probably a little proud tonight.
I hope so.
Congratulations, buddy. And don't forget Hoops Auto Body, too.
Yeah, that guy's a bum.
Congratulations, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Your winner, Magic Shoes, Gary Hoopengarner.
Race fans, the Buckeyes State Shootout 40 laps. We are through.
when I went around on the outside, I found something that was really starting to work. And then started getting tight, picked up the push, so I moved back down the bottom to help pick the car up. And I couldn't get it going down enough, and I kept seeing it, and I kept blowing the water down. I could hear the air coming out of it. It was just rough. It was rough. It was a good race, though. Congrats to him, man. He drove a hell of a race.
I'll tell you what, this is the 1-2 finish for the family that you guys just missed out on 2 weeks ago in Boston. But you watched him instead. This kid coming, and he started into your heels a little bit. How cool is it for you to finally have these guys finish 1-2 on one of these fields?
Oh, it's awesome, man. To see him wheel the car that hard, I seen him early in the race, and he's got to get me off the quarters a little bit, and I changed the line a little bit. Tracked him down after that caution, and found something there on the outside and went around it. So now it's just hats off to the guys, man. We were able to come off there. Chased the racetrack.
Typical pressure.
Thanks, RedX. RedXOil.com. If you don't know about these guys, look them up. You got diesel products, you got gasoline products, you got anything you want with this oil additive or fuel additive in. Look them up. Crap's amazing, man. I'm telling you.
Is John Eckstein here somewhere too out there?
Yeah, John. Yeah, here's John. John Eckstein! That guy right there. He's the movers, you know. That's behind you, we find the dirt car, back in the 90s.
Don't danger.
Yeah, I know. I can't thank you enough to put him on my side the whole time.
What a night. 20% win. Oh, by the way, I know he's counts, but that's a big one. Hey, race fans, give it up. Tell these guys you're glad they're here. Tune in to your feature winner here at Mid-Vale. I'm going to walk over here. Jimmy's in the way, kind of, sort of. But, Anthony, man, oh man. Your car, we can tell it was better. You were better than Jimmy those last few laps. Just couldn't find a lane. Walking through the end and catching him and then trying to find a way by him.
I was just trying to drill in most of the race, got to him, and by the time I got to him, he didn't have that many laps left, and there was a bunch of lap times. We were both running different pickup points, so it's hard to get around.
How tough was traffic tonight? I mean, you actually probably navigated it a little bit better than Jimmy did points tonight, but it looked like it was so dicey out there.
It was pretty dicey. There's a lot of lap times.
Now, second, it's not a win yet, but you finished third a couple weeks ago, second now. How sweet is it to finish 1-2 with your uncle?
Up here.
Who do you need to thank, Anthony? I know so many people going and making this possible for you in this group.
Search your engine, CNG cleaning, John Eckstein, the whole entire crew is doing a lot. We looked at building the house out.
Your grandpa was over here a minute ago. I don't know where he wandered off to, but Anthony McHugh, career best second here tonight. Yes, Chris Campbell.
I'm going to ask you, let me go over and review the winner, a great third place run. Welcome home.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's great to be back in the Buckeye State and be able to race here and for all these Northeast Ohio fans, and it's just great to be here. This is a fun racetrack, great facility, racing place in traffic. I think we have about 10 team. We were knocking on the door there, just couldn't find an opening. Both Anthony guys were driving one heck of a race. Let's go. Smooth and made it difficult for me, but a lot of fun, and hopefully we can come back here again. This is great.
Absolutely. We talked about it before. Just up the road in Marvin, Ohio, where you grew up. Went to school up there. And you come down here and pick up a third place run. And we were talking about, Jacob and myself were talking about it during the run. Man, where did Gilwater come from? Because you and Gerster were coming. And obviously the right front of Jimmy's 88 here is now flat, I believe. So you're right. Maybe a 50-lap race, this might have been yours.
Yeah, for sure. I knew Gerster was behind me. He showed his nose a couple times. And Brian's such a good driver, and I knew that I had to try to hit my marks in traffic. If not, he would sneak right in and take that spot away. And at the same time, trying to eye both the queues in front of me. And I can see they were coming to me. It's going to be difficult to pass because this is, especially when you get into traffic, there's not a lot of lanes to go in. You just kind of have to find hopefully the perfect lap where somebody slips up and you can slide over people. But heck of a place, great first race here in front of all these great fans. We had a lot of family tonight here from family and friends, and so that's awesome.
You guys put on a hell of a show. That's all I can say.
Thank you. I have to thank our crew. I mean, my dad works really hard on the race car, and all of our family, my cousin Mark, and pretty much a family team here. We just we love to compete with these guys and try to get them our all.
Congratulations, man. Great podium finish. Thank you very much. Ryan Killenwater with a third place finish here at Midvale Speedway in the Must-See.
I want you to give this guy one more big Midvale round of applause. Jacques Bruce from
6 of Josh Beal. Get ready to go green. Next time around, no, this time around. Green flag in the air. 15 laps past. For the third spot. Clean sound train. Now we'll
going on. Wife just pulled into victory lane. You better go over. You told me when we did the Road to Victory Lane presented by Racer 8 Performance, you came on and joined me at the studio a couple weeks ago, and we sat down and talked and said, look, I got to get a feature win because I'm going to have the baby in August, and I got to get this feature win. Finally, you got it, brother.
Yep, yeah, it's an exciting one. I can tell you that. It's nice to have her here. She works every other weekend, so it's good to have her here for it. It really is. Without her support, my brother-in-law's, Dan's, my dad's, everybody else that helps me on this car, Alicia, you know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
Absolutely, and let's talk about the pass, okay? It looked like Schreffler and Van Meter got together in front of you, and, well, you were kind of beside them. Yeah. And when they got upset down here in 3 and 4, you lost a little bit of momentum, and I thought, oh, man, Jeffrey's probably going to be dead in the water now.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you pass 3 cars in 1 lap to take the lead, and oh, by the way, that was the top 3 cars.
Yep, never count me out, man. Never count me out. It's a good one. Like I said, I want to thank all the sponsors. I want to thank Dan. I want to thank Casey for always helping me. My family, Kristen, my wife, Alicia, Brandon, just everybody here at the track. You know, you have your ups, you have your downs, but guess what? You have family here. This is family, and that's why we got to keep this place going and keep this passion going. Because I'm telling you what, I'm livid right now.
Amen. I couldn't have said it any better myself. If that's not a speech to keep Midvale Speedway alive, I don't know what is.
Yep, that's all I got, man.
Congratulations, buddy. Welcome back to Victory Lane.
Thank you. Enjoy, everyone.
Your winner, Jeffrey Orr.
The 4 of Tim Scott, the 36 of Tim Frederick, and we're green. Feature. Green flag is in the air. White for Gerber. He'll close the door on white for all over the place on the back straightaway. Looks like he's got it together now. White Gerber, you're right. Up the racetrack, tries to close the door on Schweitzer. Marty Gerber close the door on Schweitzer. Schweitzer comes over the outside. Here's the crossover going there. Great move by Rich Schweitzer on number 4. Great move from the veteran, Rich Schweitzer, to the front. Number 4, white flag for Rich Schweitzer. Barney Gerber will finish second. Tim Scott third. Tim Frederick fourth.
That out of his pink cup yet to boot.
Takes a man to drink out of a pink cup.
It does take a man to drink out of a pink cup. Okay, so first I'm going to ask you, on the initial start, you didn't see what happened behind you,
No, I
but
had no
goodness gracious.
I had no idea what went on there.
Well, be glad you don't know.
If we was allowed mirrors, I'd know what was going on there.
Well, yeah, you would have. And then on the restart, you get all kinds of squirrely off turn two, and we thought, uh-oh.
Yeah, about got away from me there, didn't it? But
Yeah.
We made it exciting then, didn't we?
You did, and then Barney closed the door a couple times on you, and we called it. Going down into turn one, Rich is going to go high, Barney's going to slide up, crossover was coming, great move.
Do this thing for 40 years, you learn something out here.
Absolutely. Who you want to thank on this 84 tonight?
Van Meters, Allens, Kevin, Alicia, the wife, everybody. It's all fun and games in the family.
Absolutely. Congratulations on another big win, and go take some more sips out of that pink cup.
Sure will.
Congratulations, your winner in the mini truck feature, Rich Schweitzer.
One of Chad Smith, the 16 of Mike McDonald. This side of the top of the night. The 3 wide for fifth. Left Yes, he came with a good move. Coming to green off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. McDonald's still there. Ross and McDonald side by side. Coming to green, Lawson and Frederick, green flag in the air. Come to the outside Frederick. Green flag in turn number 4. 57, looking to the inside. Into turn number 3. Ennis now looks to the outside of Lawson. Frederick leads. Lawson still there. Wes Ennis in the 57 and McDonald in the 16. Right there front. Frederick way up the racetrack. White flag for Frederick and Lawson. Turn 3 and 4, spins. Coming to green, the green and white together. Final time. Turn number 4, the winner. Gonna be Tim Frederick for 2 in a row.
Oh. What are you doing?
Kyle Busch style.
Okay, Kyle Busch style. Okay, I got you.
I'm already getting booed anyways.
Well, that's Carl Edwards, but that's all right. So, 2 weeks in a row, you win.
Yes, and this motor has no oil pressure. It's not the other motor.
Oh, my. So, can you go for 3 in a row?
I don't know. I'll blow this thing up. I don't care.
Who you want to thank on this 18 tonight, man?
Shit, I'm losing my mind. I want Eric, Bobby Joe. They were helping me because the switch was too hard. Central Fin Commander Insurance, your piece of shop, Legas Tire, Bucky Mowing, Route 39 Auto Salvage. I'm probably forgetting a couple sponsors. I don't know. 3 Leaf Solutions, Sports for Sound. I think I solved them.
All right, congratulations, man. 2 weeks in a row in Victory Lane.
Yeah, that was a rough feature.
Yes, it was. Your winner, Tim Frederick.